Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hello, Jen.
Hello, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Episode number 102. And that's right, I am Dave, and this is my wonderful but bougie co-host, Jen. And I am her wonderful but budget-conscious co-host, Dave. And we will talk about bougie and budget later on in this episode, which is pretty exciting because we come from two ends of the spectrum on this. We meet in the middle on a lot of things, which is great. But, we have some fun based on what we like and what we're willing to spend our money on.
Right.
Because she says Victoria and Albert's $350 well spent. I say, All-Star Movies, $200 well spent. I got $150 to go hit Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. So we'll get to all that later. Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Oh gosh. Well, I Disneyed this week in my normal way. I've just been wearing a lot of Disney shirts because I'm prepping for my trip next week. Next week I have the ultimate how do I Disney this week, but this week, because I did my plans last week, I'm just wearing Disney shirts to prep. So I got my Belle shirt on today.
Yeah, I saw the top of the shirt, top of the head there, and I was like, is that Celine Dion? And I see it now. It's Belle when you pull it up a little bit. And so, yeah, I was like, that would be Jen having it's a bougie episode, so I'm going to wear Celine on my shirt. It's like, okay, it's all coming back to me now. Got it. I will be at Disneyland. Actually, as this episode is dropping, I'm going to be in the air. I'm going to be flying into Disneyland. Stephanie, the wonderful wife, we get there at mid-morning Disneyland, and I'm going to have so much fun. I'm wearing a shirt today that I'm going to be wearing on my full Disneyland day. My Orange Bird shirt. By the way.
Oh, the Orange Bird.
First time I've ever put this shirt on. It is the official Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2022. And normally I don't like dated clothes because unless it's just something vintage. If I had a 1994, MGM Hollywood Studios, whatever, I would totally wear it. I don't normally like dated clothes, but I couldn't help it. This shirt was great. It was the one I wanted was like $140. It was the lighter color with the orange bird all over it. And I'm like, yeah. I'll spend $50 on this one and be okay because I'm not bougie.
So this is the bougie budget thing right there.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know that spending $50 on any shirt at Disney is really that budget because
but that's
whatever.
Also an average price for a long sleeve.
Exactly.
So or a.
But me, I love my Hawaiian shirts, and I've now got enough that I could wear 2 per day at any average 6 or 7 day vacation, and I would still not quite have enough. I mean, that's just ridiculous how many shirts I've managed to acquire. I've got an Epcot shirt coming in. Like before I knew it, I had purchased a couple of extras, from different sites and whatever. I got an Epcot shirt coming, and I'm like, I don't need all these shirts, but look at all the shirts I have. This is great. I think maybe in May I'll just go through and wear a Disney shirt every day just to make sure everything still fits and everything still looks good. So it's a good problem to have. These are first magical Disney World problems to have.
Right, literally.
So you're going down, of course, for Guardians next week.
I am.
So anything else on your trip? Like, are you tacking on a few extra days, or are you just going to Guardians and flying out after? What's happening for your trip?
Yeah, I'm just going down for the event itself, and I don't have our full schedule yet, so I'm not sure what else we're going to see. I know we'll focus in on Epcot. I don't know if what all else will be involved as of yet, but I fly out next Tuesday night. I will be back Friday. Not tacking on extra days this time because we already have a plan for the end of May because my birthday. So
of course it is your birthday.
Yeah,
and it is your birthday. And then that's the end of May, or your celebration is the end of May, but your birthday's in June, correct?
No, my birthday's in May.
I was thinking it was June 4th or something.
No.
27th,
4th,
24th. I was close.
4th, yeah.
I was close.
I'm almost always Memorial Day weekend or right leading up to Memorial Day weekend. Right. So we will get there on the Thursday. My birthday's Tuesday. We'll get there on Thursday, staying until Tuesday, and then flying back home. And then I'll be doing a fast turnaround to go back down with the team.
But if you do the math, you can never have your birthday quite on Memorial Day because it's the last Monday. So it's like 25th.
Correct.
Every couple of years is the 25th.
Correct. Yep.
So
very, very rare. But Memorial Day weekend, absolutely. it can be Memorial Day weekend.
Now, is it like a Christmas thing where people who have birthdays closer to Christmas are bitter because they only get one set of gifts instead of two? Is it like that with Memorial Day?
Nah, I don't usually give gifts on Memorial Day, so
Okay,
it's okay. It's all about
just
me.
wondering. I mean, like you only get one barbecue instead of two because it's that close to Memorial Day. I don't know.
I did make my anniversary a little bit too close to my birthday, but it's fine.
Well, see,
Brady's
that's
really
on
good
you.
about, but Brady's
That is on
really good about separating gifts. So we're good.
Well, see, I did well because my anniversary is the end of February, which is 2 weeks after Valentine's Day. And I married a wonderful woman who's basically like, you know what, just put your emphasis on an anniversary. Don't worry about Valentine's Day. So I hardly ever get anything for her for Valentine's Day. Maybe a card, maybe a little flower or something like that. But I never do anything for Valentine's Day. We do it all for the anniversary. It's much, much easier. And this year, of course, I sent her on a girls' weekend to Cancun for her birthday, which is in September. So she couldn't go until February. So I'm like, one weekend, which was our anniversary weekend, Valentine's Day, birthday, part of Christmas, and an anniversary all wrapped up in one. I'm a genius. I mean, seriously, I am the king of the world. Bring me your finest meats and cheeses, folks. I am so good. I'm good at what I do. Not a lot of news this week, but I do want to mention, of course, the Connections Cafe has opened there at Epcot. Well, it's opening the 27th, which is tomorrow, which by the time you hear this, it will be open.
It will be open.
So it's been soft opening. So for all intents and purposes, it is open right now.
Right.
You go in, there's a cafe, there's a lounge, there's a place you can sit. On the far side of it is the Starbucks, which is kind of funny to me that in the cafe they're serving Joffrey's coffee and Starbucks is on the other side.
It's very strange, but you have your choice.
It's like going into a small food court and there's a Starbucks right here and then there's a Sbarro's in between and then look there's a Dunkin' Donuts, but okay. Have you seen the pictures of the Connections Cafe and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if it's what I anticipated. I think it's very open. It's definitely very sleek, a little more modern.
Right.
I think I need to go see it in person.
Yeah,
so
I'll be interested in your take because I'm sure that you'll get to see it. And I don't know you're going down for the listeners who don't know, you're going down as part of an agency group or basically agency owners and media. It's kind of a weekend that said, hey, it's a preview for Guardians. So you're getting to go down there. Are they allowing you to do any other thing like tour connections and things like that? Or is it just, hey, here's your Guardians pass. Here's when to show up. That's it.
No, typically it's a very well thought out event, usually with various things throughout the time, some free time. But especially in the evenings, after you're done with whatnot and the arrival day, there's some extra time. So it really is just going to depend on, what they're trying to show us. I have a feeling they're going to show us Connection Cafe, but I don't have that information just yet. So
that's cool. That's really cool. It's for me. I saw somebody tweet this, and this is kind of how I see it. And the tweet was simply showing pictures of the cafe, and it was like, "Let's play Hampton Inn Lobby or Connections Cafe." And you look at it, and you're like, it kind of looks like a really nice hotel lobby. And on one hand, I kind of miss the Epcot touch on it. Yeah. But on the other hand, it does look like a cafe version of Creation Shop, which Mount Skiers are.
Right.
But that's the way Epcot is going. That is the way the whole park is leaning. It's a progressive, more sleek, almost like it looks like Tomorrow
minimalist
kind of look. Minimalist. And I almost feel like if they were to do an updated modern version of Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom, this is kind of the direction they would go with the color style and the palette and just the designs and the shapes.
I don't mind the color palette at all.
No, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it at all. No. But I just can't get out of my head. Brady had an interesting take on it. He was like little like cafeteria style. Like he felt it was very cafeteria vibe. Like,
the menu looks great though. The menu
looks
great. They have a huge allergy menu as well. I've seen that. Like everything they have on there, the pizzas and the burgers, the chicken, they have an allergy counterpart to that. They have a section for if you're allergic to eggs, here's your foods. If you're allergic to soy, here's your foods. Dairy, here. It's great.
That's great.
I love that. I mean, eggs.
Because with quick service, that's very difficult. More difficult at Disney.
It can be more difficult. The other ones I've seen that has an allergy menu like that, and I'm sure that there are those that exist, but the ones that we've experienced is Pizza Rizzo in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Pizza Rizzo.
My kid loves the pizza there, and the pizza is really good. By the way, for Disney, it's really good. I would probably rather eat there than Via Napoli. Don't quote me on that because it's cheaper
I definitely
and I
wouldn't.
like the pizza. So I don't know.
I definitely. There's the bougie budget again, right?
That's
there.
true. That is true. That is true. I guess it depends on who you're with, and whatever. Anyway, so that is coming, of course, and the Finding Nemo show has also been announced, and we knew that the Finding Nemo show was coming back. We knew it was coming as a different version of it, and now it's going to be called The Big Blue and Beyond. Disney Live Entertainment is using a production design inspired by paper cutouts for this. It's going to give the show a different look and feel from the old production, but they're going to have some old stuff from the original, some of the music, some of the storytelling, things like that.
Because the music was so good.
So I think it sounds cool. I'm hoping that they bring back a lot of the songs. It's going to be a shortened 20 to 25-minute show versus a 40-minute show, so they're going to have to cut some things out. If they cut out Just Keep Swimming, I'm going to give them a very stern look. I'm going to give them a stern look as I leave the auditorium. So I'm hoping they don't. But
I can't imagine. Like, that one has to stay in Big Blue World.
Big Blue World, and of course, Go with the Flow. I think.
Go with the Flow has to be in. Yeah. I mean, they're just.
So I think those are the three big ones. And as long as Rob Lott, past and future guest, gets another shot in there, great. Awesome.
We're happy. We're good.
No take on no announcement yet on when it's coming back. We've just been told sometime this summer. I'm probably going to guess July 4th, July 8th, something like that. We'll hear sometime of the July weekend. Don't know. Who knows? No clue. Go back to Guardians. It's going to be open, of course, the end of May. Yeah. Tron is coming along as well. No date on that yet.
Don't know.
My best guess is November 1st. That is my personal own guess based on nothing other than they want it open for the Christmas holidays. They want to get it open. They have soft openings in October, getting ready for the holiday season. That's a guess. Jen, why don't you tell us for sure when it's opening?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let me look at my crystal ball. I got to pull out the Madame Leota.
Call the Bob. Call the Bob.
I have no idea.
Beyond that, the only other thing that we want to mention, of course, it's been 1,240 days since the Walt Disney World Railroad has been in operation for guests. We've seen it. We have seen it in trial runs. No cast members. They've been kind of testing it. I don't know what there is to test. I mean, it's a railroad that ran for 40 years.
They probably need to make sure that the new track is all there's no hitches going around.
I do know that the Tron cars have now been seen in action. Just quick test runs here and there. Very briefly, if you are on the People Mover, which, by the way, the People Mover is the best way to see Tron.
100%. And also, it's my favorite. So.
The queue for Barnstormer is good, too, because once you get to the top of that queue, you can create some great still pictures as you're standing there. But when you're in the People Mover, you can see.
Sometimes you get stopped on the People Mover, and you're like,
Exactly. Which, if you get stopped in the dark at the People Mover, and you're with my wife, she's likely going to go to sleep on you. Just be prepared for that, because dark at Disney, when you're tired, wake up, she's like, right over. So now, one of the things that we've heard about our show, that people love the two of us getting together and talking Disney, is that Jen and I both have very different styles. We both have a lot of the same interests. We love Disney. We love people. We love Jesus and all that great stuff. But when it comes to touring the parks, and a lot of the park tours, we have the same style. We like the same rides and things like that. But when it comes to park design, park attributes, and things that we enjoy about the parks, we do have some different styles. Jen can be very described as very bougie. I can be described as very budget, which makes our styles conflicting to a point. And there are some things that we both love at the same time. Now, I love the bouginess of the Polynesian. I love the Contemporary. Was there for the 50th. That theme park room was amazing. Loved it. I know that you have lowered yourself to stay in a moderate every now and then. You'll stay in a Port Orleans if you have to. I'm sure you've stayed there before. Maybe not. No. Have you ever stayed in a moderate ever?
2007.
Okay,
no.
Well, see, there you go.
2007, I stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter. I stayed at Grand Destino Tower, which is technically a moderate.
Oh, see, there you go. But you also don't look your nose down at the people at the moderates. No. Like maybe somebody at All Star Sports, you wouldn't look down your nose at them either, because you're not a snob. But it's almost like, that's awesome. That works for them. That's great. I don't know if that's for me. I know it's not.
I have no problem. It's for somebody else. I just.
It's not for me. So I feel as if everything was sold out and you wanted to be there on property, and if Grand Destino Tower, or even a preferred room at Port Orleans Riverside were the only thing open, you could stay there for 2 nights and you'd be like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I think if sports were the only thing open, you might be like, all right, Brady, call 4 Seasons. What's available? Let's look.
If it came down to sports, I would probably be like, well, I've got
yeah. So we're gonna do a little thing we like to call budget versus bougie. And we have a couple of topics here that we're going to throw out here. And Jen will kind of give you the bougie version, her preferences, and I'll give you the budget version. We'll kind of meet somewhere in the middle on certain things. And first and foremost, we'll talk about resorts. Jen, give us this take. And we don't want to do it either like okay, I want you to spend all your money on this particular resort because it's worth it. We want to know why it's worth to go a little bougie on a resort. So tell us a little bit, what resorts are you thinking of when it comes to bougie and why?
Yeah. So I'm always going to start with a monorail resort. And we always laugh because Grand Floridian, yes, I love the Grand Floridian. Absolutely. Undergoing refurb. Honestly, you can,
much needed refurb.
Much it needed it. I will say when there are good room discounts, Grand is often available with those good room discounts. It prices pretty well under that. So even though it's still bougie, you can get it for less than $800 a night or whatever, especially if there's a discount going on. But really any of the monorail resorts. And if you need more of we'll call it entry level, even though it's not, the garden wing at the Contemporary, which is being refurbished, is a great way to maybe not totally break the bank, but you have that convenience of the monorail. I love on any of the monorail resorts, you have so many dining options, so many extra amenities. And yes, the Grand is my baby, but we'll shout out the Polynesian.
Yep.
Quasi-producer Heather's baby right there. Well, Wilderness Lodge is really hers, but I have to say
she loves the lodge.
She loves the lodge, but she also loves the new Moana rooms at the Polynesian Resort. And you can get a Dole Whip there.
They are cool. Yes, you can.
Where else on property, aside from like in the parks, can you get a Dole Whip at a resort? The Polynesian right there. So I have to shout out basically any monorail resort. And I don't know that I can pick one over the other. It depends on my mood.
Right.
And kind of depends. We will be boss.
I like those resorts. I really do. And the difference in Jen and I is that I like some of the stuff she's calling out. Maybe not like the prices as much, but I've stayed in all these places versus the stuff that I'll call out. She'll be like, maybe not for me.
It's just
convenience.
convenience.
And I get that. And like I said, the Contemporary was great. I was not in the garden wing. We were in the main tower. And I love any resort like a Wilderness Lodge or even the Animal Kingdom Lodge where you can go in and stay inside to go all the way to your room. And I have multiple times taken off my shoes walking down that hallway because my feet hurt. Walking down that carpeted hallway, getting to my room. You can't really do that at the Polynesian or the Grand Float.
You cannot.
Where you are.
Not unless you're club level.
You have to go outside, club level.
At the Grand.
Yeah. On the Grand. Contemporary, in the main atrium, you can kind of do that. If you have to go to the garden wing, obviously. You have to go to the garden wing. Bay Lake Tower is right there as well. I've never stayed there. It's not one that I'm really like, I got to stay at Bay Lake Tower. It kind of reminds me. I grew up an hour and 12 minutes from Panama City Beach. So I know what a high-rise condominium looks like on Panama City Beach, and it looks like a high-rise condominium. It does. Like I'm in there, I'm overlooking. Am I looking at the window, and maybe I'm looking at Bay Lake? I feel like I'm almost looking at the Gulf of Mexico, and there's Alvin's Magic Mountain Mall right there beside it, and there's a Miracle Strip or the remnants of. Local folk will get that, and so that's kind of that's what reminds me. And I would stay there if given a chance. If given
at Bay Lake Tower,
Bay Lake Tower, I would stay there if given an awesome rate. It's just not one that I'm like, I gotta stay at Bay Lake. For me though, two things I'm thinking of. Number one, we joke about sports. I'm not happy with the quote-unquote refurb of sports. My theory, and Jen, maybe you could back me up on this, or you could tell me that I'm completely off on this. My theory is, because I know, they refurbed the Pop in 2017, 2018.
Correct.
They refurbed movies. And what they did is they went in and took up the carpet. They put hardwoods down, or hard floors down.
Hard floors,
made one bed into a Murphy bed. So you have two queen beds instead of the full
Yep.
beds. They kind of updated the rooms a little bit, a little more stylish. I really wish for the values they had put a little more Mickey into the rooms, but still, that's okay.
But still, it's fine.
Bathrooms updated. Everything looks good. They did that with Pop. They did it with movies. They were doing that with music, not just the family suites, but also the regular rooms. And then COVID hit.
Yes.
So they had to stop production on refurbing. So they came back, and I think they finished movies up real quick to finish up what they were doing.
And they finished music.
Finished music. That's what it is. Yeah, finished music. I think with sports, they were in such a hurry just to get it open. I think they were like, just touch it up, clean it out, replace some stuff, and be done with it. And I don't think it was. I think they did a disservice to it. And I get it, because Disney parks right now are so full. You got to have some more people to go. And that's 1,300 people, 1,300 rooms.
Yeah,
like
I mean, that's not a small amount of
people
rooms.
on any given day. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, do a little more to it. So we joke about sports, but sports is not my favorite right now.
No.
I love music and movies. I do. I think they're comfortable. I think they're great prices for families of 4 or if 5 if you have an infant. I think the Murphy bed going up and down turns into a table. It gives you plenty of room, which is great. The bathroom. Yes, there's one toilet, one shower, one sink, but it is set up in a way where somebody can go in and take a shower, use the restroom while somebody else gets ready at the sink. There's a curtain there, that kind of thing. I love the values. My favorite value, I think, is Pop Century. For those same reasons, but also the Skyliner is right there. It is great to have the Skyliner because you walk out of your room and you're literally wherever you are on property, and Pop Century can be pretty big.
Yeah, it's big.
You're 10
That's
minutes
a big one.
from 10 minutes from a Skyliner. You just walk up there and there's the Skyliner station. Across the bridge, it's Art of Animation. I've actually got 3 families there right now. 2 families are in Art of Animation. 1 family's in Pop because the price worked better for them.
Oh.
And so they're meeting in the middle every day at the Skyliner, and they're boarding it there to go to the parks, which is really cool. So
those are connected by a it's a bridge. It's a bridge.
Yeah,
right?
it's a bridge.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a bridge.
It's of course the brief story is that where Art of Animation is now, that was going to be the Pop Century Part 2. They were going to do because the one now has the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s sections.
Right.
That was going to be like I said, I think that's the like the legend or legacy section. They were going to have like a classic section with like the teens, the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Right.
The session of 2001 hit after 9/11, 2002, blah, blah, blah. They stopped it. It sat dormant for 10 years. There were homeless people living there. They had to clean it out. They turned it into Art of Animation. And the reason you have Little Mermaid standard rooms when you have 3 other buildings of suites is because that's the place that was already built. And so they didn't want to raise it and then like rebuild that. So they're just like, we'll just turn this into regular rooms, and then you got 3 buildings, families. So there's your history lesson on Art of Animation and Pop Century. But to wrap all that up with the budget conscious part, I love French Quarter as well. That's my other budget idea. Is if you don't want to stay value, if you're like, I want to do a little more than value. We've been value before. Let's bump it up a little bit. I love French Quarter. The room rates are great, even on a busy holiday or whatever. You can find it for like $350 or less per night ish, which it seems like a lot, but it's a great place. You got a boat right there taking to Disney Springs, which is awesome. And I love the resort because it's only like 7 or 8 buildings. It's a small resort, so you're not having to worry about a preferred room. How far do I have to get to the bus stop? How far do I have to walk to go get a Danish from the front desk or from the front lobby, a gift shop, bakery, whatever? It's all right there. So I love that. So for Bougie, you're talking about monorail resorts. For me, I'm going Pop, French Quarter, that kind of thing. So
I'm also going to I got to shout out Riviera.
Yep. I do want to stay there. I do want to stay there. I've heard
their coffee shop. They have this phenomenal little
do.
coffee shop.
They
the
do.
breakfast quick service is one of the best I've had.
I've been
down.
there. We wanted to
so good
because we wanted to try it. We had Topolino's.
All of
us at the 50th. And then we came downstairs and still went and got coffee and a snack and everything from there because we wanted to try it because it looked like it was going to be awesome. And
it looks so amazing.
It was a great little place.
Yeah, it's great.
Great little place. So
it's so good.
Let's talk about the food. Let's talk a little bougie dinners. Yeah. And you're waving like you had something to say.
Okay, gotcha.
No, that was Try it again. Let's talk about the food. Jen, let's talk about the bougie dinners, the ones you don't mind spending a little extra on if you can get it.
This one's hard for me because there's a lot. I mean, there's Brady and I kind of big time foodies. Okay. So I'm going to start with a new favorite, Yachtsman. Holy macaroni. Oh my gosh. And I'm not talking about the macaroni. It's their steaks. Their steak is like buttery, delicious. It's like they hand cut them, they age them or dry age or whatever it is. It's really, really fantastic. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more money on steaks, 100%. Always got to throw out California Grill and especially they have their prefix 50th menu right now. So good. And like the dessert sampler, fantastic. And they explain the history about it and everything. Right. So good. Plus fireworks view. Hello. Yep. Brady and I don't mind eating late, so we'll catch the fireworks a lot of times. And because we just tend to eat late. Of course, the ultimate, which I just cannot wait for it to reopen, is Victoria and Albert's. Yes, it's ridiculously priced.
It is.
I don't care. It is worth every stinking penny because it just the courses melt in your mouth. It's such an experience. So those are probably 3 of my tops in terms of more bougie, you are definitely going to spend money at these meals. You are not walking out for two people for less than like $150.
Victoria and Albert's is actually so pricey that apparently, according to Twitter and the news, when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he had to tell them to take off the Victoria and Albert's reservation. They had on that price. They were like, no, I got $44 billion, but I'm not doing V&A's. I'm not going that far. I've never been. And here's the thing. If somebody said, hey, I'm going to pay for you to come to Victoria and Albert's, I would not fight that. I'd be like, okay, I'm in. Or if somebody said, you know what, I'll go halvesies with you because I want you to have it. I want you to try it. I'll be like, I'm in. If somebody said, hey, we're going to V&A's, why don't you come with us? I don't know that I can bring myself to do it. That's just such a lot of money. And you know what? I'm not saying it's not worth it because I bet it is. I bet it's in a meal that I would ever have. And maybe Stephanie and I think I would take Stephanie to it just to experience
it. It's like top 3 of my life.
We would never tell her parents that we just spent $600 on dinner. Why are y'all coming back 2 days early? Well, we wanted to eat. It's one meal. But I do want to try it, but it's hard for me to wrap my mind around spending that much for. When I first came to Birmingham, I got a job doing, and I'm not going to go into it because it was a terrible job. One of the guys working on the job was wearing $600 pants. And I was like,
okay, that's a lot of money.
I was like,
pants.
You spent $600 on a pair of pants. He was like, yeah, once you spend $600, once you get $600 pants, you'll never go back. I was like, I'll never go back because I'll never get there. If I pulled my lottery ticket out tomorrow and said, oh, look at this, I've got $19 million in the bank, I don't know that I can bring myself to wear $600.
Listen, I'll drop some money on shoes, but the $600 I mean, I'm not going to say I absolutely wouldn't, but
Well, shoes are one thing, though, because you wear them every now and then to special occasions, whatever. $600 pants, I would wear those things every single day.
I'm just trying to, imagine what material it would be or the cut. I mean... maybe a dress. Now a dress.
Episode 134. How'd you Disney this week? I'm wearing my $600 Mickey pants. Episode 207. How'd you do this week? Well, I've got my pants back on. I'm wearing them every day. I mean, I couldn't do it. So, for me though, with the food, in terms of meals, Disney can be expensive. Honestly, people ask me a lot. They're like, what can we expect to spend on food? And I'm like, counter service, expect to spend $15 to $20 per counter service meal. Expect to spend anywhere from $40 to $50 per person on a table service meal, depending where you go. And that's reasonable. It's not like, I mean, you could script and say, if you could go somewhere like, let's say, Sci-Fi Cafe, you could probably get out of there for $20 a person. If you split some plates, you went kids meals, things like that. You could also get out of Sci-Fi Cafe for $75 a person. You get an appetizer, get a full meal, get a dessert, whatever. Yep. So it depends on what you do and where you go. For me, some of the highlights for me, little kind of hole in the wall places. First, I want to bring up Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village. It is a great place to eat the African style food, but also there's American food as well.
Yeah, there is. The bread service.
The bread service is amazing. That is a great place to go for just appetizers. You know what? Let's go get a bread plate. Me and whoever I'm with, we're going to get a bread plate. I'm going to get an appetizer. They're going to get an appetizer. We'll do the bread plate in the middle. I'm full. We have just spent $19 per person plus tip. We're done. Great place to do that in. I think it's really good. If you want a character meal, I think one character meal that is really worth it is Tusker House over at Animal Kingdom.
That's a great one.
I'm a big breakfast person. Their lunch and dinner is okay. Garden Grill's the same way. Lunch and dinner is okay. Breakfasts are phenomenal.
Garden Grill breakfast needs to come back. It is.
Yeah. I would love that too. But Tusker House is back, so I'm just going to go to Tusker. And really, I mean, it's like 40 or 43, 44 per person, which is a little pricey, but for a character meal, it's not bad.
But it's not.
You get Donald, you get Mickey, you get Goofy, you get Daisy. The meal is great, and now it is. When we went in November, it's family style. I'm not sure if they've referred back to buffet yet.
I haven't seen that it has, but
some of them are going back to it slowly. So by the time you hear this, maybe they have, maybe they haven't, or whatever. But they can bring me. You know what? I'm fine raising my hand, going, "Excuse me, can I have like 17 more Lincoln sausages, 4 more eggs, and one big fat Mickey waffle, please?" So this is your third plate. I know. I'm paying for it. Come on, bring it. So, by the way, Link sausages at Disney. I don't really eat a lot of sausage unless it's on a biscuit. Link sausages, I will eat a dozen. I love Link sausages at Disney. I don't know, they're so good. And so that's one place to go to. Other hole in the wall place we discovered in March was boat rides at Puerto Rico.
Oh, that is good.
Had a terrible reputation for the longest
hit and miss.
time. For the longest time, had an awful reputation. Yeah. When they refurbished the whole thing, refurbished the rooms, the resort, they refurbished boat rides, new management. It was good. I had a steak, and it was very, very good. It wasn't very expensive. I mean, when you're at a resort like that, a lot of times, especially at a moderate resort, you're like, why do I want to eat here? I'm going to hit the park, whatever. For us, we came back to the room early. It was a monsoon. We found reservations for 4, like an hour later we found the reservations.
That's great.
Which was awesome because it's something that a lot of people go to. And so don't be afraid to try your resort table services and stuff. Now, for you, Jen, are there any bougie counter services off the top of your head, or maybe bougie dishes that you're like from a counter service? I know it's a little pricey, but
that's
I would
a little harder. I mean, when Be Our Guest used to be a quick service, that definitely that was so good. But obviously not a thing
anymore.
Anymore. Contempo Cafe ish, like that definitely could
Their food
qualify.
Looks bougie. I've eaten there.
It is very good,
but it looks bougie.
It actually is. It's very good. I really enjoy Contempo Cafe.
I do too.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I even like it better. I like it better than Gasparilla's.
I do too.
And I don't dislike Gasparilla's.
I think Gasparilla's, for what it is just okay. But I'm like, you're at the Grand Floridian. Give me more than what you've given me. Come on. Which I will say real quick before you finish, before I forget about it, Grand Floridian Cafe at the Grand Floridian is pretty good too.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Food.
Not a quick service.
It's not quick service, no, but just table service. It's off the menu. It's not a buffet, so you're not paying one price. You can control your costs on it.
Yeah.
It's a hole in the wall. I mean, people don't I hate to say that about the Grand Flow, but it's something not a lot of people think about because they're like, they want Park Fair to come back, or they're looking at Citra codes, or hey, we're headed to the Magic Kingdom because it's right there. But it's
Grand Flow Cafe is very good. The other one it's sort of quick service. So we're gonna count it.
Good.
Over at Wilderness Lodge, the
Roaring Fork.
Roaring
Fork.
Roaring Fork is good.
Oh.
It's the pool. It's by the pool bar. Geyser Point. Wait, is that at Wilderness Lodge or is that at Fort Wilderness? That's Wilderness Lodge. Geyser Point.
Okay.
It is. Okay. I love that. We have literally just decided we've been at Magic Kingdom and like, don't want to do Pecos Bills, don't want to do Cosmic Rays, can't decide what we want, don't feel like we've already eaten Contempo Cafe this week.
Right.
Well, let's go over to Geyser Point. And they have a phenomenal bison burger. They have a great salmon sandwich. Oh, and like the prices aren't bad. And the homemade chips are good.
Nice. Very good. Very cool. Let's talk a little bit about park experiences. And we can talk about tours. We can talk about things you want to spend extra money on. I know you just spend a boatload of money to get into the parks and to get your rooms and stuff, but there are things in the parks and even in resorts that you can spend a little extra on, have a little extra experience, especially for the people who've been so many times.
Yeah.
They love going. They love doing stuff. But, hey, why don't we take this afternoon and try something a little different? I know we want to ride Haunted Mansion for the 74th time, but what if we did this instead for our 2 hours and come back and ride Haunted Mansion? Jen, what are some bougie things you can do in the park to spend a little extra money on?
Well, 2 of our favorites have been some of the tours. One is the Keys to the Kingdom tour, which is maybe a little bit more.
Love that tour, by the way.
That's now you have to be 16. That is a 16 and older tour, folks. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a 14-year-old who's super interested. They will not allow it. 16 and older. That one runs about $114 per person at last blush. That's a great one. Obviously focused in the Magic Kingdom.
And it does take up 6 hours of your day.
It does. It is 6 hours.
If you have a full Magic Kingdom day, don't think you're going to go in there for 2 hours and be done. It's a 6-hour walking tour. So just beware.
Yeah. And the other one that I love was the Backstage Magic tour. Backstage Magic went to all 4. Well, at that point, when we took it, it was 3 parks. They have since added Animal Kingdom on. And in addition, you saw other things like, I know this sounds so stupid, the laundry facilities. What?
That's actually pretty cool sounding.
It was actually really cool. We're like, oh, I mean, it was actually like fascinating. And like where they do the topiaries for Flower and Garden. And that one is running $275 per person. I had to look it up because it's been a while, but those are fantastic. And that one is like 8 hours. It does include lunch. So when we did it, we had lunch at Whispering Canyon, I believe. So it is really good. That's some really cool in-park experiences.
Now, have you ever done the Wild Africa Trek?
We have wanted to. We haven't yet. I've sent clients who raved about it. Just absolutely raved. I'm
going to go bougie for a second. It's great. Well, I'm going to bougie with a caveat here. First of all, it's great. It's wonderful. It is like a 4-hour tour at Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom, and they take you backstage. You get a privately guided VIP expedition full of lots of close encounters. You have the hippo encounter. You're basically feeding the hippo, which is
That's cool.
awesome. You know, you have a crocodile walk where you're walking over the bridge and everything. I think there's actually a few extra things that are there now that I didn't see. When you're on the Kilimanjaro safaris and you look over and you see people kind of on a little, like there's like a pole that they're kind of attached to as they're walking by.
Right.
That's what the tour is. They're kind of hanging over. There's actually one thing where you're harnessed in and you can lean over the cliff and feed the hippos, which don't fall in because the hippos will kill you. But it's a lot of fun. When I went, however, Stephanie and I went, this is 2009, I believe. They had just opened up the tour. It was still in the introductory phase. It was $129 per person. So we bought it and got it. This was like they had not even officially opened it. It was like, we are now doing this for the next month for like $129. It's now $199 per person.
I was going to say that's wow.
That's the caveat. We would probably not have done it for $200 a person. We did it for $129 a person, and it was
sure.
Awesome. But if you have the money to spend, it is something that's worth doing. But something if you're like, I don't know that I want to spend that much money or take that much time. 2 tours at Animal Kingdom, which are really great. One is called Caring for Giants.
Yes.
And basically, you get a close look at the elephants at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. You learn what it takes to care for them. It's only a 60-minute tour, and it's only $35 for the hour.
It's crazy good.
You get to talk to a cast member who gives them insight into the inner workings of the African elephant herd. You get a close-up glimpse to the elephants as well. You'll be able to see them only about 80 to 100 feet away, so you get them closer. Yeah. When you're on the safari bus, you're probably sometimes 50 yards away, so it's a little distant.
Yeah.
But you'll be closer to them. Now, you do have to be 4 years or older, so kids can do this one as well because you're not up close, and so it's not that expensive. The other one that I really want to do, and I have not done elephants, but it seems cool. The pictures are. The ones that I want to do, however, is the Rhino Tour. Up close with rhinos. And this is a $45, 60-minute experience. Meet these mighty but gentle giants in a special viewing area for a wildlife encounter, and you will be fairly close to them as well. You won't be right up to them, obviously. I believe that you get to touch a rhino.
I think you get to touch one, yeah.
I think quasi-producer Heather has said that she's done it and she loves it.
Right.
And you actually can be 4 years of age or older, so you can still do it. If you're under 18, you have to have an adult with you and such. But they're not very expensive. 2 other things that I want to mention that are free back at Animal Kingdom because they have all the cool stuff. Wilderness Explorers. If you have a kid or an adult, and we've mentioned this before, it is a free thing you can do. You get a little book, you get badges. You have to do an activity. Either it's listening to a little like 2-minute conservation lesson or an activity where you have to do something, make a craft or whatever. And there's like 30 stations all over the parks. Go to each one. When you complete it, you get a badge for your book. You can bring your books back over and over. So if it takes you 10 trips to do it, then so be it. But it's really cool. So, the wilderness must be explored. Caw. The other thing that's worth doing is in Epcot, and people forget about this. It's called KidCot. And when people are like, we're not going to do Epcot because it feels like an older park, KidCot is for the kids. Every pavilion, every World Showcase pavilion has a kid activity. You go in, you do some coloring, you do some crafting, you do some creating native to that country. And now with the cast members, international cast members coming back, you're going to have those cast members teaching the kids about their countries, about Norway, teaching them, certain languages and phrases and stuff in different languages, which is awesome. And it's free. You get a little Ziploc bag with a little handle on it, which is kind of cool. You get postcards, you get stickers to kind of go into a little passport thing book there.
Super cute.
And that is free. That is all you have to do is do it. There are also various scavenger hunts you can do. Like the festivals, they'll have like a little maps you can purchase for like $10 and stickers.
That's a good one.
You find Remy or you find Olaf or whatever festival it is.
Or Spike or
whoever. Turn the thing back in or at least show a completed thing. You get a free prize.
Yep.
Sometimes the prizes are great. Sometimes they're just okay. But it's a free prize. Free prizes at Disney. Take them. So.
One other one that you mentioned, festivals. During like Food and Wine Festival especially, but also during Flower and Garden, they have seminars.
Yes, they do.
And it's usually in the festival center. I've done a couple of them. They are so much fun. So it might be like a cooking one, or it might be like making the one during Food and Wine, which is making the candy sushi, where you like roll like Swedish fish and roll up. It's super cute. They have all sorts of things. I've seen mixology classes. I've seen, like I said, cooking classes and just various pairings. And they're usually in the festival center, which we always like to walk through anyway, just because there's merch. You like to see the stuff that's there. So I will like watch those going on. We've participated in a couple of different foodie ones. They're just a lot of fun. And so if you're if you are willing to spend the money, it's worth it.
Nice. Now, one other thing I'm going to throw at you, and I didn't mention this in the pre-show when we talked about this before, but I think you'll pick up pretty fast. Transportation from the airport to Disney. There is definitely a bougie and a budget way to do it. So, Jen, I'm assuming you don't take the Mears bus shuttle transportation when you fly into the parks. What is the bougie way of handling it, and what is your preferred way of getting from the airport to the parks?
My preferred way, let me just say, if we are not renting a car, because sometimes we do the car rental thing. When I'm not doing that, I like to take private transportation to and from, and we have a fantastic service that we utilize for our clients. And fortunately, we've had a relationship with him for a while. So like right now,
Charlie.
With Charlie. He's fantastic. All transportation in Orlando is just full up right now. So it's hard for them to take on new clients, but he has always so amazing for our clients.
Park Avenue Limos.
Avenue Limos.
And tell them that Upon a Star, Jen and Dave sent you if you call them.
But we can book it.
We'll take it.
We'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, he's fantastic. I email him all the time for my personal, like when I'm going next week, I am having him take me back and forth. Great vehicles, great service. I pay for it because
love it.
I just feel better. I mean, and not that I've done Ubers in the past. I've done it, but it's just so much nicer. They're like meeting you in the baggage claim. Take care of.
Yep. Let's talk a little bougie. We did Mears Transportation in March, and we were looking forward to this. So we were going to do, there's another bus service that's in town that just started. I'm not going to call them out. That just started. You can figure it out if you're thinking about it hard. They've had some issues. They've had a few adjustments in getting started. And we were like, you know what? We're going to wait till that one gets really going. I don't mind sending clients there if they're asking for it. That's fine. They look cool. But we're going to go with Mears, which is a little more established. Maybe it's a more boring, but more established. We got on, it's basically Magical Express, that same area where it used to be. We got in line. We got on the bus. We were probably on the bus. We were probably getting our bags and walking down that long thing to get to the area, and on a bus and leaving in 35 minutes. So it really wasn't bad. I've heard some people with busier days when they get we got there in the evening. So if you get there in the middle of the day, it might be busier. Now understand, these buses do make several stops. Our bus stop, we were at Port Orleans Riverside. I think we were number 5 of 6 stops. So they stopped at like 3 off-property hotels and like 1, and then they stopped at like Animal Kingdom, and then they went to Port Orleans Riverside when we went. So just understand, give yourself some time. Give yourself some, a time to do it. Don't be like, hey, it's 5:30. We're getting on the bus now. We should be able to make that dinner at Cali Grill at 6:15. No, you're not.
Nope.
You're not going to make it. And if your travel agent told you that you could, then drop them and call us, because we will tell you don't do that. Call a car service. Call Charlie. Call Jen. Call somebody, because you're not making that.
But don't call Charlie day of. He can't accommodate that.
And Charlie will be like, you need a car when in an hour? What day is it? April 1st?
He's far too nice to laugh at you. You're just like,
exactly.
I'm so sorry.
Exactly. I'm so sorry. We have nothing available till like September. But yeah, Mears is not a bad option, and it's about $20, $25. I think I want to say it was around $30 maybe for the round trip. Don't quote me, because we only did it one way. We rented a car on the way back because we had some errands to run, some places to go before we hit the airport. It's not a bad transportation option at all. The bus was really comfortable.
And they have an express option, which I think is fewer stops.
Yep, fewer stops and stuff, and we were just fine with it. Regular, we don't mind it. We loved the Magical Express, mostly because, well, even without the kids, we love the Magical Express. We just enjoyed it. For me, for Stephanie, there was something about getting on that Disney bus that's like, our vacation is starting. We're going under that thing that says Walt Disney World. Put your pins on. The vacation has started. This is awesome. We had no problem with it. And I know you can do the same thing in a private SUV with a driver, and you're like, yeah, the vacation started. But there's just something about the whole bus going, yay, versus, hey, honey, we're here. I know, right? Exciting. I mean, something about that. So from the list we have, basically, a bougie vacation might include a private car transport or renting a car from the airport to the Grand Floridian, where you stay in a nice room there. The next day at Magic Kingdom, you're going to take the keys to the Kingdom Tour, probably again, because you haven't had it in a while, so take it again. That night, though, you're going to come back because you're on the monorail resort. Come back, get ready, because you have dinner at Victoria and Albert's. The next day, however, at Magic Kingdom, you're going to have California Grill, where you probably will see the fireworks from there. Whereas myself, we will arrive at the Mir at the airport, take Mirrors to Pop Century. We'll hit the parks, do Tusk Krauts breakfast the next morning. Maybe that afternoon we're going to do the Rhino Tour, which is really awesome. Spend 60 minutes with the rhinos. That's great. Hit Epcot the next day. We'll do some Kid Cut. We'll do some some snacking around the world, that kind of thing. A couple of things we do, I think we agree on though. Bougie and budget. Snacking at the festivals at Epcot is bar none.
It's just like
good.
And that falls under both categories.
That's both categories.
That's both categories.
You can spend $12 on a glass of champagne and something to eat there, $15 whatever, or you can spend $6 and get a little piece of steak there at
Canada.
Le Cellier, which is so awesome. Good. So you can even go bougie and budget there as well. I have spent as much as $130 in like a day or two at Epcot.
It's easy to
one after the other. It's easy to. Or you know what? I've also gone through it and spent like $30 getting like 3 things and get full. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't eat anymore.
If you pick the right things, you really can get full. You just
can bougie and budget on both of that. Another thing we both agree on, I think, is the memory maker.
Yeah,
$169 seems like a budget price. Seems like a bougie price for pictures. But it's really not. We were talking about this earlier, and I'm like, maybe a budget would be the photo sessions that you can get, which for $80, you can get a 20-minute photo session with a photographer for up to 8 people. So for a family, this is a great option. You can do it all 4 parks now, which they've opened it up to. But Jen made the point that you don't get you get 20 minutes. That's it. You don't get your ride photos. You don't get everything. You only get 20 minutes. Which we're doing this in June. I'm really excited about it. I've never experienced it, so we'll get to see what it looks like. But with the memory maker, you do get the magic shots and the ride photos and the ride videos. You get all the photog pictures, and they'll put extra on there. I can't tell you how many times I'm looking for a Buzz Lightyear picture that we took, and I'm wading through like there's 17 Mickey Mouse and Daisy Duck pictures here. What in the heck? Come on, I don't need another picture of Space Mountain. Keep going. But they're your pictures. You get them immediately. As soon as they show up on your app, you can download them to Facebook or to Twitter or to to MySpace. Hype up your ICQ. These are for all the people leaving Twitter. Get your ICQ, your live journal, whatever. Throw them up there. So you can get them immediately and have something to do with them, which is really cool. So I recommend the $169 advanced purchase for Memory Maker. It's $199 day of. But it's
because I think when you space it out and you price it out, let's say you're on a week's vacation per day. I mean, that's really
we
good.
have taken as many as 600 pictures in a week's vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And there's many as you can put on there. Just take them. And you know what, Mom, I'm speaking to you directly. With your 2 kids and their young children and your husband who's tired, who maybe does not want to be there, or he's tired of after 3 days he's done. You're meeting Mickey Mouse. It's 7:00. You're late for dinner. You're in the line. The kids are whining. The husband's like, the husband's whining more than the kids. You don't worry about your camera. Let the photographer take it.
Yeah.
Let the Disney photographer take it. It's going to show up on Memory Maker. An hour later, you're sitting there eating your steak, and you're able to upload to whatever you want, to Pinterest or to Instagram. It's just easier. And we've done this so many times. Stephanie's like, just let them take it. I don't get my camera out. It's great. So, bougie versus budget. Good talk. Good talk.
It's always good.
Love it. Jen, where can we find you? You're going to Guardians next week, so people want to follow you. Where can we find you?
At Upon a Star Jen on all the social medias, as well as the agency will also be following my adventures, of course, at Upon a Star Travel.
Yep.
My personal Instagram is at Jen_Novotny.
Absolutely. And follow the agency stuff on all the socials and go to TikTok. Upon a Star Travel on TikTok.
Yes.
Fun videos. We got somebody working on the TikTok, and she is doing a phenomenal job. She is just throwing video after video up.
We have some great ones up.
I mean, some videos are like, oh, that's really sweet. And some videos are hilarious, and they're just fun, which is what you need in your day in this day and age.
Exactly.
So find all the stuff there on the agency stuff. Also, you can find me at The Magic on $1 on Instagram. I'm over 600 followers now. Got to get to 700. 1,000 by the end of the year is my goal. You folks can help me do it. Of course, Magic on $1 on Facebook and Disney on $1 on Facebook. The MSE podcast, where you can find Jen as well. That's on all the socials. At Gmail is our email address. .com is our website, and on Twitter and on Facebook and stuff. We'll be posting all that fun stuff there. So, Bougie Jen, hope you have a wonderful week. We will talk, of course, next week before you go out to the big Guardians thing. But when we talk again, I will be back from Disneyland, which will be awesome. I'm sure I will flood your inbox with pictures saying, Jen, look at all this fun stuff, which is what you will do with me next week.
100%.
Exactly. So have a wonderful week. And folks out there, don't forget to thank your bougie or budget Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.